Kia debuted the 2025 K4 sedan as a replacement for the old Kia Forte. Now, it has some pretty polarizing styling, but the big thing that jumped out to me is just how long the K4 is. Well, now we have the 2026 K4 Hatchback. It's almost 11 inches shorter than the K4 sedan, but it still offers great rear legroom, more cargo space, and for my money, I think it looks great. Up front, the K4 hatchback is largely identical to the K4 sedan, but as we move towards the back, well, things get a little different. Now, we still have the interesting rear door handles. I'm not sure I'm entirely sold on there, but apart from the obvious, I mean, this is a hatchback, not a sedan, we also have some other styling changes. For one, the roof is slightly higher on the hatchback, gives you a little more headroom on the inside. We also have this blacked out panel here. That gives it a little bit of a floating roof design. And then there is this sparkling yellow paint job, which looks a lot better in person than I thought it would. I particularly like how it blends or contrasts with the red taillights. Very dramatic. We have this almost like snake fangs look to the taillight. Then of course, if we open up the hatch, well, we see where a lot of the practical value of this decision comes in. The sedan had 14.6 cubic feet of cargo space, which is pretty good, but that expands to 22.2 cubic feet if you go with the hatchback instead of the sedan. And then you can fold down that rear seat, that opens up 59.3 cubic feet. I mean, this is a much more usable space, a lot more cargo capacity. You can put a stroller in there, your groceries in there, whatever you need to put in a car. If there's a lot of it, you're going to be better suited with the hatchback than you would with the sedan. In my opinion, Kia is selling the K4 on the strength of its interior cargo and passenger space. This car, I mean, Kia claims best-in-class rear seat legroom, but the important part to know is how does an actual person fit? And it doesn't feel like a compact. I mean, this driver's seat is set for my about 5'11" height, and I'm not touching the seat back. That's not normal in a compact sedan or compact hatchback. Normally I feel a lot more cramped, but here it's almost mid-sized sedan levels of space, almost. Now, some other features that I like. So we do have this little cubby here. That's almost a little too small, but we do have two USB-C ports next to it, at least in this GT line trim. Then we've got rear seat air vents. We've got a mesh map pocket. This is a fun feature that is easy to overlook, but Kia's seat backs in the K4, they extend up higher than the seat itself, providing this little ridge. It's great for hanging a grocery bag or your purse off of. It's one of those low-tech solutions that just makes sense. Really happy to see that here. There's a good amount of plastic in the back of this car, but that is honestly to be expected. It's a mass market, economy, compact hatchback. We should not be surprised by seeing plastic panels in the back seat. That's very normal. The bottle holders in the doors, a little too small to be useful for anything. And despite having a little more headroom, I do feel like it's very dark back here. We have a sunroof up front. It'd be great if that extended back a little further. We do have a center armrest that does not flop down on the seat. Happy to see that. That's a nice little, build quality test. And of course, there are two cup holders in here. Interestingly, there is a plastic panel here. This almost feels like it might be pre-production. I would have liked to see a pass-through option, maybe like, for your skis or whatever, particularly given that this is a hatchback, you expect something that's a little more kind of like focused on hobbies or activities. Having a pass-through would be nice, but we will have to see when the production cars come out if that gets added. All in all, though, a lot of space, very comfortable. Could use a little more thigh support, but for a compact hatchback, it doesn't get better than this. Now, as comfortable as the rear seat is, I'm always going to prefer to be in the driver's seat. In terms of powertrain options, the 2026 K4 hatchback is the same as the K4 sedan. So you have a base engine that makes 147 horsepower paired with a CVT. It's Atkinson cycle engine. It's definitely tuned for efficiency, and it's pretty efficient, up to 40 mpg on the highway, but it's not overly lively. It's a little bit of a tilt. It's kind of a dog. The turbo is just a much better K4. I mean, it's quite a bit more lively, makes about 190 horsepower, might be 195, paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. That's another checkbox. It's not quite as efficient, but it's a lot more fun to drive. In terms of the layout up here, this is the GT line turbo, and we've got kind of Kia's nifty adjustable cup holders. This is a pretty small center console. We've got that 8-speed, and then up front there is this place for your phone. We've got a wireless charger, and then Kia's selectable like charging or data processing button here. So you've got your USB-Cs. You can use those and not necessarily have it connect to Android Auto if you don't need it to, like if you're the passenger, maybe. In terms of tech, so we do have wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay, and I mean, just a very attractive layout, bright screen. This is such an improvement over what Kia was putting in their cars just 3, 4, 5 years ago. I really like how this looks, and it is, I mean, it's very responsive, it's very quick. We've tested this a lot. We have just enough redundant physical buttons to make it easy to use without kind of looking messy. We've got those for the climate control here. Then we also have like the home map search, a roller for your volume. And then one detail that has always annoyed me ever since they started implementing, it's not just in the K4, but Kia gives you this big, beautiful single screen. It's actually, I think it's 3 separate screens, but they're all housed in one piece of glass. It looks really nice, but this centerpiece, innovative use of space, it shows you your climate control readout. But when you're driving, it's basically invisible because of the steering wheel. Other than that, though, there's not a whole lot in here to get bothered by. I mean, again, we've got not the nicest materials, but pretty good, like reasonable. They look nice. You can get this car with a red interior, which is pretty exciting, but unfortunately you can't get it with the red interior and the yellow paint job because, they're trying to avoid the Ronald McDonald car. We expect the K4 Hatchback, the 2026 K4 Hatchback, to arrive at dealerships in late 2025. And we don't have specifics on pricing just yet, but that's not going to stop me from taking some guesses. The first thing that you should know is that there is no LX or LXS trim for the K4 Hatchback. Those are the 2 lower level trims that are available on the sedan. Instead, this starts at the EX trim level. And then, of course, we have the GT line and this GT line turbo. Now, the EX trim on the sedan, that's around $24K MSRP to start. I think this is going to be a touch more expensive, but maybe it's $1,000 more, maybe it's less than that, maybe it's not more expensive. We won't know until it gets a little closer to launch date. I will say this. Although getting into a K4 hatchback is going to be more expensive than a base K4 sedan just due to that trim situation, I think this is a better looking car. I think it is a more practical car, but I also know that what I think doesn't matter when you're the one buying it. So don't forget to head over to CarGurus.com, read a little more about the K4 hatchback. You can read our review of the K4 sedan and let us know what you think of this in the comments section below. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.